Welcome to one of the Krakow's nicest towns in south of Poland. So today I'll be unveiling to you the hidden and the historical gems of Poland, Krakow. Join me on this exciting journey around Krakow. So I came across this statue, or as you would call it, a sculpture, which is one of the historical pieces here near the town hall square, near the town hall tower. And the symbol behind this is it being enslaved by love by Igor Mitaraj. I hope I pronounced his name right. So as you can see, we already came across some historical pieces here in the south town of Krakow, and this is the inside of it. So apparently this statue is wrapped up by bandages and it has a whole meaning behind it. So we'll be exploring more of here, more of this town square. So at the moment I'm walking towards the cathedral in the square of Krakow, and as you can see, there's a person who cleans up the paths here to make it clean for the tourists and the locals to walk across. It's a very nice gesture of them to keep this path clean in the square. So we'll be walking towards the cathedral here through this path here right now, and as you can see, there are a lot of local businesses here opened up in the town hall square of Krakow, or as you would call it, the old town of Krakow. So join me on this enjoyable journey across the old town of Krakow. So this sculpture or statue I came across is the Adam Mickiewicz statue, also known as the greatest literature hero of Poland, also known as the father of Polish Romanticism. So this statue here is in the middle of the market square of the old town of Krakow, and as you can see, there are a lot of tourist people here who come here just to see the statue here and all the other great historical architectural buildings here and the statues. So this is one of the main attractions here in Poland, the statue and the cathedral. And join me as we enter one of the market squares, market here in the old town of Krakow. On the ceilings you have some of the towns and cities of Poland, and each one of them has their own badge or symbol for each town. There's a few of them up on the ceiling here, up in the square market. There's not that many places open here at the moment, I suppose, because it's not the right season. Maybe during summer there will be more places open here, but there's still local sellers here selling some souvenirs to the tourists and maybe to the locals as well. But yeah, it's a nice place in general, but this is only one of the few markets here in Krakow. I've seen quite a few so far by exploring here just, and it's a nice wee place here in the square near the town hall tower. So it actually gave a bit of sun here. Before I arrived here, it was snowing, like it was pure snow in here. and it was a bit windy and chilly, but right now it's a bit sunny and it's not as cold as it was before I arrived to Poland or to Krakow. I thought I'll get some good weather with no snow, but I mean, I was wrong. There is snow here. I don't mind the snow at all, but it's just a bit cold when it comes to snow and it gets a bit chilly. But I mean, it's really nice anyways. But I think that these architectural historical buildings and all the monuments here would look nicer without the snow. But what can I do? There's snow here, but I mean, I still enjoy looking into these places and finding out new things about them. So I'll be walking towards the cathedral here, and we'll see what we can find out about this place here. So what I found out about the St. Mary's Basilica church, it's a Polish Gothic church which was built back in the 14th century, and it serves as one of the examples of Polish Gothic architecture. So I tried to get in there, but I said on the door said for prayers only. So I'll try and find a different way in to show you the inside of the Polish Gothic church. It's a really nice building in general. It's quite big, honestly. I think it's one of the biggest churches I've ever seen in my life, so it's quite nice here. So I'll try and find my way in into the Gothic church here, and as you can see, the cleaners are keeping the place clean here for the tourists and the locals, and there's a lot of information on the side of the church as well you can read, but it's all in Polish, so I have to translate it and find out what it says there myself. But it's a really nice place in general. It's definitely the biggest church I've seen in my life. As you can see, there's a tour guide there going on as well, and a few food places and souvenir shops here too. So while walking, I just thought of a small tip. So let's say you're in some attraction places, like in general, not just Krakow. Let's say you're in some attraction places and you're wondering which way should I go. You can also do your own research and go to places you want to visit, or you can follow the tour guide because they probably go to all the good places. But I won't do that today, as I done on my own research. Well, that's a small tip for you. If you don't know how to tour guide yourself, you can just follow the tour guide, follow the crowd, and just see all the good places. So as I walked on here, I ran into an Irish pub, and it's literally right behind the cathedral. So it's not just the Polish pubs or bars or restaurants here, there's also some international ones, and from the distance I can see the Thailand's flag as well, so I'll go a bit closer and see what's happening there. But yeah, an Irish pub. Me myself, I lived in Ireland for nearly half of my life, and Ireland is really close to my heart since I lived there for almost half of my life. And as you can see, there's also some local businesses here walking past. So I was right, that is a Thailand flag, and it's probably a restaurant, I assume. It is indeed a restaurant, real Thai restaurant. Thailand's one of the countries I would really want to visit, so I'll just show you a bit more of it here. And in the distance I can see the French flag, so you can clearly tell that there's also some international businesses here going on, like the Irish pub, which I would love to visit it, but I'm not a big drinker, so if you love to pick up a few drinks once in a while, I would recommend you to visit one of the Irish pubs everywhere. Irish culture, and the beer they have, it's really nice, so I'd recommend that to you as well. And as you can see, a French flag is hanging here as well, and that's one of the French restaurants too. And just some nice architectural buildings here too, walking down this road. So I was walking down the road from the cathedral and the monument there, well, basically Market Square, and I came across this building here, and it looks really nice. It has a Polish and a Ukrainian flag to it, so I assume it's a building something to do with the government. So I'm gonna get closer to it and see what the building is about. But yeah, oh, look at this! I found some clocks here. So this one shows the time in Ukraine, Lvov, and then you have Georgia. I think these are all in Polish. You have San Francisco. You have the time shown from different parts of the world. You have Edinburgh, which is in Scotland, and then you have Krakow. That's really nice. Oh, and they have even more. Oh no, that's the same thing. So on both sides, it's the same clock showing different times in different parts of the world. It's a really nice thing I came across here. So, right, I'll be walking towards the, as I suppose, the government building now, and see what it is about. And walking on here, I see another chapel or a church. There's quite a few churches I came across today. I think that, not that I think, but in my opinion, I think religion is a big thing here in Krakow, or maybe in Poland in general. So I'll be walking across the road here to see what the government building is about. And I've noticed that Krakow is really clean. It's a town or a city that's being really taken great care of in here. So that's a nice thing. It's nice to see clean towns here, you know. And let's see, so there's a sign here which I'm not too sure what it says there. Skwer Imjaka Wozniakowskiego. I hope I pronounced that right, probably not, but sorry to the local people living here. I'm not a big expert in Polish language. But yeah, you see the government building here. I'm not too sure if I can record this, but I don't know, it looks quite good. I like it. And you have the Ukrainian and Polish flag on it. You can see it's very detailed in architectural, historical pieces here. There's some detail to this building, so we'll take a close look at it. It says booking and tickets, so it must be like an attraction place. It says booking and tickets there, so it must be like an attraction place there. So I found out what this place is. The place is named Julius Stowacki Theatre. So this is some sort of theatre where in the 19th century they had venues staging concerts and performances and some sort of an events in this building. So this is a historical theatre, I found out, and it's quite a big of a building, so I'll just take a walk by it, see what else I can see and find out. And I don't think it's open today. It seems kind of dark inside. I suppose it might be closed. There's probably no performances or events going on there at the moment, so I'll just take a walk around it, see what there is. But yeah, it's a pretty nice building. You can see the detail and the historical architecture this building holds onto itself. And beside the theater you also have the park, which is the local park of Old Town Krakow. And going that way you have the train station. That's where I came from. And yeah, so I'll be taking a closer look up to this theater from the back as well. Let's see, you have some other building beside it. Yeah, so this building is massive, as you can see, so that's separate. And this whole building is just the theater where in the 19th century they had some concerts inside it and performances going on. I suppose there's still performances and events going on in the building too, but not as often. So I'll be walking back towards the market square, since I have to get back to the hostel at some point, as I have to check out at 12 o'clock. So I'll be walking back now, picking up my stuff and checking out, and then booking a different hostel, as I'm trying to try out different hostels every day because I don't want to stay in the same place. So if I book a different hostel, I'll see different places around it. So that's why I'm trying to stay in different places here. But yeah, I'm walking back towards the cathedral here, make sure there's no cars going. So yeah, I actually saw a few things here, just walking about randomly. In my opinion, exploring and going to places you haven't planned is the best thing. Of course, you can plan some places and then you'll see some of the main attractions, but then if you go somewhere random places like I did, you'll see more things. So that's what I'll be doing from now on, going to the main attractions and then exploring myself. So that's the hostel I stayed in for the night there. Honestly, for the price, so in total I paid 10 quid, 10 pounds, which is a good price, honestly. And my honest review about it is, for the price, it's quite good, honestly. I had my own bed, everything was clean, and had a bathroom and had a toilet. Well, everything was shared, but still it was quite a good experience. But the downside was that in the booking it said that the locker was included, but when I got there I had to pay an extra $2.50, I think it was $2.50 in pounds sterling, which was a downside in my opinion. But in general it was a good experience. So other than that, it was alright. Right, so the next place I booked is really close to Old Town Krakow, and the place I paid 10 quid as well, but this time it won't be a hostel, it will be a mini apartment. I think it's a 3x3 meter apartment, so it literally has one bed, and that's about it. It just has one bed. So by the pictures, it seems like a more private area for myself. Just one bed, like a wee small room. Right, make sure there's no cars coming. No. So by the pictures, it's just a bed in a small room, which should be fine, as I'm just staying there for the night. And I'll have the place to myself, but I can only check in at 3 p.m. and the time is now around 12 p.m. so I'll just be walking about, exploring here a bit, and then at 3 p.m. I'll go and check in. So just bear with me while we explore a bit of Krakow here. So I've just made it to the park, and last time I went that way, but this time I'll be walking straight. I'll be walking this way, and I'll try and see if I can find any other interesting areas in the old town of Krakow. What else I've noticed is, whenever you go on Google Maps, that's what I use for finding places, I found out that the park is almost encircled. It encircles the whole Krakow old town there as well. So I'll just walk around it, see how long it takes me to walk around the park, and also I'll show you all the attractions on the way. So I'll just keep walking straight here for now and just see what I can find. Some apartments there as well. There's quite a few. There's not quite a few, there's a lot. There's a lot of places that have high story buildings basically, and I could imagine that people live there, or there's some sort of offices here. But there's loads of high story buildings, so I assume if it's in all the locals living here, and also the jobs that take place here, I could imagine. So I came across this statue of Nikolai Copernicus. I hope I pronounced that right. So apparently this person used to be a Polish astronomer, and beside the statue there's a large university, and I did a bit of research, and there's a possibility he might have studied here, but I'm not too sure. But what Nikolai Copernicus found out was that the sun is in the middle of the universe, and that the earth is spinning around it. So it's actually fascinating that I found it by just walking in the park randomly. That's what I mean. Just walking about the park, you find so many interesting buildings and the statues and the history of Poland and of Krakow as well. So I'll keep on walking here through the park. If I find anything interesting, I'll be sure to show it to you. But so what I see there is a tour guide, and if there's a tour guide here, it means there's something interesting here. So I'll be taking a walk up this hill, I'd say, and see what there is. But I mean, there's a tour guide here, so it must mean there's something interesting here, and so far it looks interesting. So I'll be taking a walk towards the upper hill here to see what there is there. So I came across this castle. I came up the hill, and supposedly there's a castle here, so you can get some tickets here to the visitor center, but I don't think I'll be doing that. I'll be just taking a walk around here, just around the castle. And there's also, I think, a nice view you get here as well. You can't go down here, unfortunately, but you can see a bit of the city itself here from the castle view up here, which is quite nice in my opinion. I'll be taking a walk. I'll be taking a closer look up in the castle when I get in there. But yeah, so far I'm really happy about my decision coming here. It's a nice place, a lot of historical architecture here. Met one guy from Wales here, he said he's traveling as well. His name is Daniel, so Daniel, if you're watching this, shout out to you. But yeah, it's a really nice place. Just a lot of things to see here. So what I'm thinking now is, I think this used to be like a small village here, because I came inside and there's a whole big area here surrounded with buildings. And what I think is, I think this used to be like some sort of a village where inside you had the church, as you saw there, and then you had these houses here. And what I think is people used to live here, I think. So it's really nice. I'm so glad I went this way to see this place. It's such a nice place to see. And I think there, after the castle, I think that's where the river is down there. So take a quick look at it, and there's some nice piece of art here as well, as you can see. So we're gonna walk down this hill and see if we can see the river. There's some sort of a fence there, which is unfortunate, but yeah, really nice place. And all the places I visit, I'll try and leave the location on the video as well, because I'm not really familiar with all the names of these areas, so I'll try and leave the names here as well. But yeah, you can see on the signs there, it says the castle, and then you have the dragon's den here somewhere. So we're gonna see if you can find the dragon's den here too. But these buildings are definitely a few centuries old by the looks of them. Really nice ones. It's a bit slippery here too, so I'm trying to take an easy walk, here, not rushing anything. So yeah, let's see what we can find here. So as you can see, that was the dragon letting out the flames, and there you see the Ferris wheel across the bridge, and some sort of boats there parked on the coast. I assume that would be some sort of restaurant or something, or some sort of a bar. And there's one of the boats that's actually going across the river, and more historical buildings here. We'll be taking a longer walk and see where the dragon den's in, where the dragon den is. But yeah, we saw the dragon letting out the flames. That's not something you would see every day. I didn't even know he does that. So just walking across here, seeing what else we can find. Such a nice place. 100% recommend visiting this place in Krakow. So I found out the name of the castle. The name of the castle is Wawel Royal Castle. So apparently this castle was built or initiated in the 14th century, and prettified in a variety of styles later. And I think we're approaching the exit here of the castle too. So if you want to visit this place, it's called Wawel Royal Castle. Make sure to do so. It's a very nice place, and I think this is the exit we're approaching here. So we'll see what's outside here as well. Just get a different view. Definitely a must visit place. It's getting a bit sunny too, so it's not as cold. And there's also some nice views outside the castle as well, if you would want to visit them after. But yeah, that was the castle here. So I'll go and explore more places now as well. So it turns out it actually gets sunny here in Krakow. It's a bit warmer now, honestly. It was a bit freezing. So this is the river that I'm by at now. I've just exited the castle. This is a view from the castle from the far away. Really nice place. And that's where the the bridges and the first wheel and the boats. So I'll be taking a walk down by the river now towards the dragon. Just see him throw the flames out of his mouth. Yeah, it's a nice view here, as you can see. You got the river. Surprisingly, it's not frozen yet, I suppose because of the low temperature, but I mean, it's not that warm here either. So that was the tour in the Wavell Royal Castle, and I decided to grab a bite here, and I've noticed that there's one particular store in Krakow that's very popular. Well, there's a lot of them in here. It's the green one, Zapka or Żabka, I think it's called. I think it's pronounced that way. So there's quite a few of them here in Krakow, so I assume it's like a really popular business here in Krakow. I'll just go and grab a small snack here after this nice tour in the Wavell Castle, see what's happening. And honestly, the prices here are quite good. So far I haven't spent much on food, but that was like just normal local stores prices. I'm not really sure how the prices are in the restaurants or fast food places, but so far the prices are really friendly here compared to other European countries. Just another nice view here of places. And also there's a lot of ATMs here like that. You see that ATM there? It's really unfriendly with fees. So there's different ATMs here you can find that give you better transaction rates, but the one there, the one with the blue and yellow colorful design there, that's the one that you should avoid. It has unfriendly fees. So as you can see, there's an attraction where you can ride in a cabin which is dragged by the horses. It's probably not as cheap as you think it would be. Should have asked for the prices there, but I'm not really interested into that because I think it might be expensive. So I'm walking towards the accommodation place now, the cheap 10 quid one, to check in. It's 3 PM now and I should be fine to check in. So I'll meet you whenever I get to the accommodation place. So I just got into the room. So as I said, the room is quite small and I've got a proper bed here. So this is the room I'll be staying in tonight. So that's my bed, and I've even got a light here, so that's positive. And let's see what the view is like outside the window. Just a bit of outside the building, not much you can see here. And it's quite warm here actually. It's quite warm, so I actually had problems locking up the door, but I've managed to get it locked, so that's positive. And I've even got a plug here, but it's quite high from the floor, so I'll have to think of something. And I've actually got the light and it's properly working, so that's really positive. And let's see if the radiator works. It works, it's warm, that's good. Oh, there's a plug here as well, but it doesn't seem too safe. Doesn't seem too safe to use, but it should be fine. So, a nice wee room here for 10 quid I've got. As long as I've got a bed and it's warm and I've got a plug, I'll be grand.